Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Douglas Planning Board meeting for January 14th, 2020. The meeting is being recorded, available for viewing on the Douglas Public Access Channel and on the Douglas website. We'll come to order at 7 o'clock. The first item on the agenda is the public hearing. Melissa Griswold, application for an accessory apartment special permit for 94 Pine Street. And I'll read the public notice. In accordance with the Town of Douglas Accessory Apartment Zoning Bylaw and Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 40A, the Douglas Planning Board is holding a public hearing on the application of Melissa Griswold for an accessory apartment special permit. Property location is 94 Pine Street, Assessors Map 271, Parcel 9, Douglas, Mass. Public hearing is being held on Tuesday, January 14th, 2020, at 7 p.m. in the Community Meeting Room, Municipal Center, 29 Depot Street, Douglas, Mass. Copy of the application may be viewed in the Community Development Department during regular business hours. Any person interested or wishing to be heard on the proposed plan should appear at the time and place designated. Ernest March, Jr., Chairman, Douglas Planning Board. Public hearing is now open. Anyone here that's presenting?
That's
Okay. Can we just have your name and address for the record?
Thomas Griswold, 94 Pine Street in Douglas.
Okay.
Melissa Griswold, 94 Pine Street, Douglas.
Okay.
He's part of the Griswolds.
This was permitted once before.
Yeah,
Yeah, but the issue, and you have to tell me because I'm a newbie, is that this is not a blood relative situation here.
So they're asking for a waiver.
Not a blood relative.
So there's two waivers that are being sought.
Yeah.
900 square feet.
One is the square footage, and the other is that the occupant is not a blood relative.
But we also have the alternative renter earning less than 80% of the median income.
Right.
Right.
Usually we ask for documentation.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the intent is to have it qualify for affordable housing in the town, so we can take credit for that.
Yeah. Is the person you're renting to on any type of public assistance or anything right now, or?
No, he's not.
I'm right here.
Okay. Can I have your name, please?
My name's Paul Collins.
Okay.
No, I'm not on any public assistance. I receive a little help with daycare and WIC, about it.
Yeah, Wick
That
is
would
public.
qualify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's-
And it is.
Good.
I've applied for food stamps, but I'm a subcontractor and kind of self-employed, so this. I can't get refused.
You're retired, ex-Marine? Can do a solid.
So to be under the requirements allow for this to happen, and I'd be fine with, would you be able to supply us with any financial, statements?
Yes.
For like last year, or whatever we need?
Yeah,
What?
it's always complicated because I'm a subcontractor and kind of
Right,
self-employed. The
so
work is just
we
slow.
did request the last time we did this for the woman that worked in the town hall.
I don't recall.
Yeah, the older woman, that she qualified for the,
Tax relief.
yeah, no, for this. She was
Oh.
living with the people.
Yeah, we did one a while back, I think, yeah. Didn't we? No?
Yes.
So we would, either way, we would have to get
Yeah.
just some stuff to complete the application for the.
Well, from my perspective, I mean, I don't want it to be a loose end kind of thing.
Right.
So I would rather have that information in advance,
Yeah.
so the board can make a decision with that information, than ask that it be submitted, and then what if it's not adequate, or, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we want to
Do
do this and support it, but we want to make
No
sure that we
doubt.
don't get in
Oh, yeah,
major,
definitely.
you know, trouble for it, so. So it's 80% of the median? Is that what it's supposed to be?
Yeah,
the,
it's 2B. And I know we did this with an older woman the last time, so whatever we required from her.
So the regulations say, either the occupants of both units shall be related by blood or marriage, or one of the units shall be occupied by an individual hired to provide medical assistance or custodial care to one or more individuals in the other unit. In the alternate, the accessory apartment shall be rented at a price affordable to persons or families qualifying as low or moderate income
Right.
for a period of not less than 15 years. And that's going to the point that it counts towards our affordable housing stock.
Right.
The rental price for such apartment shall be affordable for persons or families in the Worcester area earning less than 80% of the median income as set forth in the applicable guidelines of the Commonwealth's Department of Housing and Community Development.
So there's
So
a-
what you're asking is not a straightforward, simple
Right.
thing. It's
But there is a price on the rental guidelines too?
And this has to be
Right.
And
furnished.
they're getting $0.
The alternate, you could waive the requirement.
Right.
That's the
Yeah.
alternate.
And you're a
We
single
can't do
parent?
that.
Right.
So
Waiver.
his threshold as a single parent is a single person is, the median is less than it is if it's a couple, that, you know, so, so it's,
I mean-
They're not renting it, it's essentially like they're having an occupant in this separate unit, not collecting any money.
well, that's between, I would think it would be between them anyway, whether.
Right, it's
you know.
stated in the letter,
So-
so
so they-
that kind of supports that too.
Right, right.
They do have a waiver request before the board
Right.
to this point.
Right.
So, you know, I would think you would want to act on that, or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we ought to do.
Is that in their packet?
I would just,
Yes.
if we can, I would
thought I
like to
saw
get
it.
it onto
It
our
is.
affordable housing.
Yes, absolutely.
Right here,
It's on
the
page
waiver,
three.
where the
Yeah, it's a
comment.
benefit to the town.
And as far as the square footage, I don't think
Yeah,
I have any problem with that, you know.
It's already, it's like it's already
Yeah, the
built,
letter.
so it's there.
It's there.
No,
right.
it's right here.
Oh, it's already there?
Yeah.
How much bigger is it?
200.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's 1,100 and
Yeah.
900.
It's like
The structure's already
20% greater, 20%.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. This is the blue house, right?
Yes.
Okay. Right.
So we just need the
I said I'm
paperwork.
familiar with the road, so that's why it's like,
What's that?
We just need his income.
If you want to go that way, yeah.
What's the other way we can
Well,
go?
we-
Just flat out
Oh,
waiver.
yeah, well, I mean, ours
well,
is,
what's-
We're allowed,
ours is the really large one, that's a
it's the other one.
bright blue, it's like a more grayish
Yep.
blue. Or-
Yep.
yeah.
see it, waiver on this side.
So we have a decision to make whether we want to grant the waiver.
Do they have a
Or if you go,
waiver?
with the waiver, you
I don't
don't
see
get the
any-
affordable housing
Right.
part of it.
If you don't grant the waiver, then they would have to satisfy that requirement.
Well, I just want to ask a question, that do we have anything to put a stab on a dart with, if he's within that? I mean, I don't want to go down the road and all of a sudden he's not going to qualify for that per se, but, you know, if we knew he wasn't going to qualify that, we could just do the waiver. I'm just saying that, you know.
But I don't see the second waiver, I don't see the waiver for the
It's
square
on
The-
this
footage.
page.
Square footage.
The requirements under those
Okay,
DHCD
yeah,
guidelines
okay.
are very difficult to meet.
There's more than one waiver in there?
Yeah,
Because you gotta show the history, I think.
In a long,
And-
long
and-
history, right? Not just
15
And
years.
You can't have owned a house, there's a lot of weird
yep.
aspects to it. So that window of people that qualify, it shrinks down and down.
The one's not going to make the difference in the
No.
town at this point.
No.
Right.
No,
it's not gonna make a difference.
But I
But
think
I-
we had one piece of paper the last time with the other older woman that was living in, with another person that we
Didn't that
approved.
qualify for the
Yeah,
affordable housing?
I don't remember what it was, but we have done it in the past. And it
Yeah,
was
we-
very simple.
What we could do is
We,
approve it, grant the waivers, approve it. It'll be a 3-year application. And when it comes up for renewal,
Have this one
That
all the
highlighted.
documentation in place by then
Yeah.
for,
yeah, a mess.
It's up to the board.
yeah, I mean, it's
I'm
not,
good with that.
We could have this one highlighted for that,
Yeah.
when it comes back up for renewal.
But we don't want to
Take
set
the line
up
out.
unsubstantiated precedents, that just, now someone
Yeah,
says.
we don't
We don't
money,
set precedent.
Okay, so this doesn't set a precedent.
does not set a precedent.
Because, he deserves a solid, I think, is what.
Yeah, no.
Right, I don't want accessory apartments being turned into apartments. That's-
Correct,
that's
right.
no-
As-
no
as a
way,
matter
shape, or
of
form.
fact.
That's not gonna happen.
And if things change, and, you find Miss Wondrous, and, and you get your own place, then that's all good,
Yeah.
so.
I mean,
So
Okay.
you
So-
understand what we're saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, if we grant the waivers tonight and approve the application, it'll be for a 3-year permit.
yeah,
If the
That's a normal-
occupant
that's the normal permit.
changes-
If
For it
if
anyways.
anything changes, you'll have to come in and see us.
Right.
Yeah.
If, in the meantime, in 3 years, when the application comes up for renewal, we'd like, if there's documentation to show that he's on the
Qualifies.
qualifies by the,
qualifies for,
Yeah.
right.
Then we could change the status then.
Then it would help the town out because it would give us another home to meet the percentage that we're required to have in town for affordable housing.
Okay.
So,
But this waiver is for Mr. Collins and you, and it's not
Yeah.
for if Mr. Collins moves out and you just say,
Because of
like,
the
I found
flag.
another guy and,
No.
you know,
No.
no, you know, so we just wanna keep it all.
Even if you could do that, if you could do it even sooner, we could still go through the process. We could waive the fee and change it to that if we had to.
And you understand the affordable housing thing is that if we qualified and we can add that to our stock of affordable housing, that it protects the town in the future if we have enough of it.
We'll
We'll never get there, but at least that's what we're supposed to do.
Makes our numbers look a little better.
It's, the threat against 40B housing and other things that would be, detrimental for the town and down the road.
So, board, any
Yep.
other comments or questions on this application?
I'll make my first motion.
I'll make a motion to,
Oh,
we need to close the public
We
hearing.
need to close the public hearing.
Okay,
now.
I'll make a
I'll
motion to
second
close
it. You go
the
ahead.
public hearing.
Second.
All right, motion to close the public hearing made by Mike Z, seconded by Mike G. Any further discussion?
No one else in the audience, right?
Anybody in the audience have anything on this? No, okay.
I don't think so.
Motion carries. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. All right, now we'll need two motions on the waivers, or one motion with the combined waivers.
I'll
Well,
make a motion to
yeah, go
grant the waivers for square footage over the allowable to 1,100 square feet and the occupant requirement.
Yep.
Okay.
Second.
Motion made by Tracy,
Second.
seconded by Aaron.
Yep.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, the motion carries. You're all set.
Thank you guys very much.
Yep.
Thank you all.
Yep, thank you guys, thank you for
Thanks
coming
for
in. Yeah.
Thanks for your
Good luck.
service, too. Yeah.
If we could just double check what we required from that the last one,
Yeah,
I
we
don't
should-
know who you're talking about, so.
so I have to provide you with the name.
Well, no, I'm asking you.
I don't-
if
I
you
can't
know.
I know if you put her picture in front of me, I know what she looks like.
Okay.
And she was in the audience.
She still
works
work
at
for the town?
Hall.
She
Yeah,
still work
as
there?
her, yeah.
What department do you think?
I don't know, she was like, odds and ends things.
Odds and ends.
I can't remember.
That's down
how
the
long
right.
ago it was.
Odds and
Yep.
ends.
Last door on the
Odds and ends
But I
department.
can't
She
remember
sat
it.
right there. She had curly,
Yeah.
blondish hair.
Right.
She submitted some sort of piece of paper, and I can't remember what it was.
The threshold,
familiar.
the
It's the only
threshold's
other one
10%.
we ever did
Yeah, right,
that qualified for
All
that.
of-
She was staying
I mean,
with her
this one
friend
thing's
or
gonna help our
something.
numbers.
I
Move up
remember that coming down the pipe.
Squirrel.
I would say 6.5 years ago.
Yeah.
Track that down, Bill.
Yes,
Doesn't even go on
for
there.
me. That was like 6.5 years ago.
Well,
Lot of
it's the
digging
only
there.
other one we've ever come across.
Cool,
here.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're on.
All right. Next item on the agenda. A&R Plan, Hayward Homes LLC, 27 Webster Street.
Byron,
Yeah,
Byron is back.
the legend.
Permit and.
Look at that, you,
Waivers
We
and.
wanna see the legend on the paper.
you have lights over there
See the
now.
light
Yeah, look at
button?
We got some complaints that they couldn't see your plans, Byron, so we put that light in for you.
I know.
This is the triple decker coming down.
I asked if there was a dimmer switch, they said.
Spotlight.
I don't know if you were
This has
here.
been here a while.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like it's at least a month.
This is
Thank
the
you.
sightline one.
Yeah,
We haven't had a meeting since first of December.
yeah.
Here's some pretty size copies. I also included a copy of the previous plan on the second page, so you can see the difference.
Oh, this is all the site,
Yeah, I could see that perfectly.
There's two there, Aaron.
a lot of site,
I'm looking at the, I'm gonna look at that.
yeah. I remember that.
Okay, you ready, board?
Yep.
All right.
Roll.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, good evening, my name is Byron Andrews, professional land surveyor with Andrews Survey and Engineering. I'm representing Hayward Homes tonight. Our client owns a piece of property. The outer outline here in green is what is owned. These are two lots shown on a previous plan that was signed by the board in August. The two lots are divided by this yellow line. What we would like to do, because the lot is in a village residential zone, we can actually separate it into 3 lots as opposed to 2, which is what we prepared to plan here. That yellow line is this yellow line here. So instead of 2 lots, we would result in 3 lots. All 3 have conforming size and area. If you recall, the last meeting there was an issue with the site distance, because the site distance to the middle lot was
200.
was 200, yeah. So what we did is we shifted the lot line over here somewhat. It's hard to see on your copies, but
Yeah, you went from this one to that one.
the guardrail ends here,
Yes.
and the slopes are over here. So we set the lot line between the two lots so that they would, both lots would have equal distances between the guardrail and the beginning of the slope. That results in a site distance of 275 feet or greater, and the site distance on the previous plan for lot 1 was 275 feet. So we're maintaining that site distance at the minimum. That's for the driveway to lot 2R. And lot 1R, being a little further down the road, actually has slightly increased site distance. It has about 290 feet of site distance going towards Webster.
Where was the previous line? I mean, you came in last time and we were
They were straight.
just straight down.
Right there.
Yeah, so it was
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, so that makes a difference.
yeah.
So how many feet is that roughly over from, from where it was straight down to the right? Is that 50, 40 feet or something like that?
Yeah, I think it's 40 feet. If I recall, we had 100 feet for both of these.
Are you supposed to be at 360? The sight line?
The site
Because of the
distance.
speed of the road?
Yeah, there's actually, it's a little unclear, because if you go, if you're coming from Webster, I'm not sure if you can picture it, but there's a curve in the road. I think that must be it right here.
It's the hump, right?
Where the, on the locus map. And it's a bit of a tight curve, and the speed limit there goes from 45 to 35. But there are no other signs further down about the speed limit. So it's a little unclear whether it's 45 or whether it's 35. It might be 35 just for this curve, and 45 after that. But to,
What's the requirement,
There
35?
are no others.
Mass DOT should have a speed study that they've done on that, so that should be readily accessible,
yeah.
if there's a question.
Yeah.
Usually if it says 35 miles an hour and you don't see another sign down the road,
Stays
that's what the
35.
speed limit
It
is.
says 35.
Yeah.
What's the
But if it
difference
goes
between
up to
35 and 45 required? 10.
It doesn't go from 35
I
to
know that
45.
part,
It's
but-
from 45, it goes down to 35.
Sight
No, I meant as far as
line.
sight line. I know.
Yeah,
Sight line
the
distance.
site distance for 35, I think is...
He's winging
I
it.
want to say it's 225 feet, but it's at least 250 feet.
Can we get Google on this?
And what is it at 45? You had it last time? You had it?
360 feet.
360?
360.
Yeah.
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
And what are you providing right now? 270?
270.
275 and 290.
Do have a note on it, as we did with the previous one, that the, that this lot does not have the required site distance for that. so.
Is that gonna be a common driveway?
No, we
I mean,
have it for two individual driveways, so one, let's see if I can get something that's a little brighter here. So one driveway would go in here, and the buildable area would be in here,
Okay.
and the other one would go in here, so they're two
Okay, so-
independent
but
driveways.
they're right next to each other.
Well, that makes
Right.
sense.
Yeah.
So Byron, this is not on town sewer out here. Where would the septic system go on, not that this pertains to the planning board, I'm just
Yeah.
curious, on lot 1R?
On lot 1R? We
Where the
have,
driveway is.
yeah, I mean, I think we have enough room for the sewer, because the sewer only has to be,
Septic?
Yeah.
sorry, the septic, it only requires a 10-foot offset, so we can put the septic here and the house here. Obviously, we'll have to get it permitted through conservation for this lot.
So it's gonna be in the 100-foot buffer.
Yeah, it will be in the buffer, yeah.
So, back to the 45 versus 35.
Yeah.
Like I said, 10.
That-
Difference. but- So, if it's 45 and it's at 360 required, we're still 25% over. Hey, I don't want to cast stones, I'm just
No.
saying
No,
that,
that's,
you know, I.
And we have available frontage
Right. And maybe-
down the line towards Webster.
Right, and if it is a 35, we've got no problem, right? If it's under 275.
Yeah.
That's why.
could we get clarification of that, Byron? Just what is the speed limit? 'Cause
From my
I don't know how to-
Actually,
history and knowledge, it's
the 35 is actually not even like a legal speed limit, because it's a small yellow sign that says 35, where like statutorily, a speed limit sign is supposed to be white with black
Yeah.
lettering,
Yeah.
and where it's very small and it's very, just right there on the curves,
I didn't even know.
I don't
Yeah.
believe that's an enforced.
Oh, the one on the coming towards town.
Yeah, I
Something
don't,
then?
I don't believe it's like enforced like 35 mile per hour zone.
I mean, because I know.
What do you know?
Oh,
So is
someone
it
probably
so
put
you're
that up,
thinking
is
it's
what you're saying.
45?
When they redid Webster Street, they put that up to try to slow cars down.
Well, it might have been
During construction.
Yeah.
Because they
That's
never
what
came out.
That sounds like a construction speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in the,
Looks
we're in the
official.
process right now,
It's the
Jacob.
wrong
of
color. and-
Changing all our signs to regulation.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if we got to that one yet, or if it is right, but like you said, if.
yeah, it's
if it
definitely
is-
not.
I
drive
think
that
that's a
road every
construction
day.
one when they.
So do you think it's 45?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Oh.
Well, I've been told the whole
The
road's
sign
for
is right at the curve,
Yeah.
you've got that curve there. and
Yeah,
then it
right.
spreads
Yeah.
out
Well, they
after that.
they revamped that whole area when they were doing the widthening of the road and the drainage and stuff like that, and the paving.
Oh, we've-
So they might have left that sign, the 35 mile an hour sign up there during that time. When they were redoing Route 16
Yeah.
a year or
I
two
think
ago.
it's a
They
permanent
put-
mounted sign right up to the curves, but it's more of like an
They
advisory.
took down
that
all the old
curves are up.
signs and all new signs went up.
So my car has, and a lot of cars now have it, they tell you the speed limit, and it's all 45 on
It's
there.
all
I mean, I
45.
just.
That's what I figured.
No, do you know that?
Remember? Yeah, I agree.
No, I agree, it's 45.
But
I
you
just
remembered?
wasn't sure if.
Well, because I never saw it change. I
Oh.
would have said, whoa, 35? You know, it's
Well,
like,
Okay.
it's 45 most of the way, but when you, how far are you from Main Street? These lots?
500 feet.
I think
Maybe
it
slows
is, I'm
down.
not sure.
500
We're
feet?
close.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Yeah, 500 feet or so.
Well, I think it slows down there because that's where the lights are and
It,
everything. The
but
limit,
it picks
speed
up
limit.
right after you finish
You should
those
find out
duplexes,
this
it goes up.
just find out and tell us.
I would point out though that the previous plan that was approved did have 275 feet, which is what we have here.
Yeah.
Now you added 2.
Yeah, the two though, that's the thing, is, I think just from the past board decisions is, we've been leaning towards granting one when it's, an application.
So now it's two waivers.
No, it's exactly, now you're asking two, which is,
One. It doesn't set a precedence.
Doesn't
because
set-
One doesn't mean two or three or four.
correct. When we've had similar
Can you show us
applications.
where the guardrail is again?
Yeah, the guardrail
I
is,
can't really.
It's improved, I mean,
see it.
before it was,
They have like plenty of frontage to move the driveway.
It's close to the road.
Right, that's the thing.
well, the problem is the
Okay.
wetlands too, you're
Um,
in the soup.
I mean, I would encourage the board to take the site distances, consider it a serious issue. It's a safety issue, obviously. That's why these distances have been incorporated for speeds. Envision a motorcycle driving down the road, someone doesn't see it, they pull out in front of
Yep.
them.
That could be me.
Right.
No, we.
Especially in the summertime, there's a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
I think the first thing we have to establish, we have to do is find out what the speed limit is there. If there's a 35 mile an hour sign up, is it legal? Is it
Is it changing?
the right sign for that area?
Yep.
So we don't have to act on this tonight.
No, I know, yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
We meet in
We
2
have to the
weeks.
30th, and our next meeting's on the 28th.
Yeah.
I think as a board, if it's 35, it's a different thing.
Oh, yeah.
Completely.
If it's 35, then he's
He's all
meeting.
set.
You
No
meet-
waiver.
Yeah, you meet the thresholds
Yeah.
for,
Well, how do we know?
if
Does
it's
gonna
somebody
tell
tell
us.
us?
We don't know, we have to find that
Well-
out.
Oh, what the ASHTO
You'll
requirement.
have to contact Mass DOT, get the special speed study for this section of road. That will tell you exactly what the speed limit is supposed to be.
Yeah. John might have it, that information, I'm
The
not sure.
police department might have that
Police
study.
department might have it, or the highway superintendent might have it.
yeah.
I know we've been changing our signs over to meet the new standards that they require, so
Yeah.
it could be, we just haven't gotten to that yet, but.
okay. All right, we'll check and see what the study is, and we'll come back at the next meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I say if it is 35, then you'd be good then.
Yeah,
Um,
we could find, but if it's not,
is- What's the threshold on this bill? The timeline,
we're
The
good.
12:30, I'm sorry, 1:30.
1:30,
yeah,
so we have
yeah.
one more meeting
Yeah,
before
we have
that.
one more meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have
So
12.
we don't have
It's
to,
supposed to be
ask for
1:30.
withdrawal or anything.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, come back in on the
Next
next meeting.
meeting.
Yeah.
Good for you?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right,
Yeah.
sounds good, Myron, thank you.
How are we gonna get these numbers?
What's that?
How are we gonna get the correct?
He's gonna provide
Are
them.
they gonna do?
Yeah, we'll.
We're gonna send you
we'll,
out there.
find out.
We're gonna
We'll look
do
at
a
the
speed
study.
clock. Take the average, what everybody's going.
It's gonna go up.
Yeah, I know. I know, that sounds good.
Thanks, Byron.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks, Byron.
All right, we're into discussion.
128, huh?
What do you want to discuss? Brady gonna retire?
Anything you want to take out of order, Bill?
Well, before we talk about these potential zoning changes, I do have an email in your packet that goes over the timeline for submittal to the selectmen. So you have an idea as to when we need to have something for them.
There we go.
It's from Suzanne.
Yeah, I got it on the bottom. It's the last page.
There we go.
You guys got this?
So, per the general bylaws, warrant articles must be submitted to the Board of Selectmen on or before the first Friday in March. This year, that's March 6th. So, we need to get our warrant articles to them
March 6th.
by March 6th.
Okay. We doing the monuments again for the spring?
If you want, yeah.
Please.
Are we doing the monuments?
Okay, I'll prepare something for the next
All right.
meeting.
That would be good to do.
You good with that, Ernie? The monuments?
sorry, I didn't hear you.
The monuments
Continue the monuments for the meeting?
for the spring?
Oh, you want to put in for another one?
I'll work on that list for you.
Yeah,
You want
like,
to put in for another one for the
Yeah.
annual meeting? Okay. Yeah.
yeah, we'll just figure out what'll
That
be a
sounds
good,
good to me.
good area to get some of it knocked out.
Yep.
That sounds good to
Okay.
me. You want to stay in the same project or go to another project? Stay in the same?
Another project, spread it out a little bit.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I mean,
we're
we got, there'll be
progress in
some
both.
established there.
Yeah.
Let's go to some where there's absolutely none again.
Yep.
And do the same thing, and let's get something established.
Yep.
Then further on down the road, if they all have some established,
Yep.
then go back if you want to fill it in a little bit more, but
Yep.
at least get some in each
Something-
area
ball
that's
rolling.
necessary where there's none.
Yeah.
So at least there's something to go by.
Nope, I agree.
Okay.
And like we were saying before, might be able to put some in two, or whatever, however it works out.
Yeah.
Depends on the size
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and the scope, you know?
I'll tally them up and,
Yeah,
yeah, next meeting.
get us a
for
little
next meeting.
estimate, yeah, please. Thanks,
Well,
Bill.
Okay.
Do they start on Downs Road?
This,
No, we have the funding, but I'm waiting for the springtime.
Yeah.
What else we got for the town warrant? What else we have for the town warrant, I guess, articles?
Well, that, I brought it up before, number 1 and 2.
1 and 2?
So,
Do we have one ready?
well, we don't, that's why it's on for discussion.
Why are we waiting till the spring to do the monuments? Can we get back to that?
Weather,
Weather, yeah.
It got approved for the fall, but it was late in the fall
Yeah.
for them to start to do the work. So
they're not gonna be digging holes in frozen ground, it
Yeah.
may have an impact on the when we got the prices, it was decent weather.
Yeah.
Yeah, frost.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I already talked,
Yeah,
Missed
be
the
right now.
60 degrees,
You
so
gotta
it's
go in
okay.
every shovel, you have to go in with an extra
Yeah.
bit.
right,
it'll work out. Okay.
At least we know it's gonna happen,
Yes.
estimate.
So we got solar regs and
Yeah,
Lakeside Residential?
so we can kind of.
Is this on the agenda?
What we can and can't do on solar,
this the letter on that,
Yeah.
so.
I think it's the pine
Yeah.
project.
Yeah.
project.
oh, no, it's
No,
not,
I know.
They don't
that's
need
just
to do
for
anything.
So we
information.
like to kill that
No.
one?
Just
They haven't done it, they haven't,
What have we been told?
They're still
Yeah.
working
We
on
were
it.
thinking that we
Correct.
can condition it like a guideline for permitting.
Right.
So solar, last we left,
Right.
we talked to Adam Costa last meeting about solar, and he had indicated that we could in fact have a process that involves special permitting, at least that's what he thinks. So given that, what direction do we want to go? I know I distributed a few samples for different towns.
Yeah.
I think you guys were going to look at it and get back to me. If we're interested in hitting the town meeting, you have the timeline. So we'll need to have a hearing and
Do we think we could do
form
two?
something.
Right.
Do we think we could do two articles, or can we do one article? I don't know, I mean, the bandwidth
Well,
of the board.
I think we could do two. Get the Lakeside,
Okay.
it's getting close towards the end, I mean, we've had council.
Yeah.
And then the solar, I mean, only do so much.
Yeah,
really.
I know.
I like to see like some sort of formatted solar regulations that we can kind of control. with the special permit granting.
Well, we have to identify, wasn't the big thing
Well, I
identifying
gave you a
what a
few
large
samples.
is?
I
And
think the Webster one was good that we looked at over Sutton.
except for the square foot, the sizes.
Correct.
Sutton
Right,
had
right.
the square footage,
Sutton had the square
but I don't
footage.
think we can even really. put that.
Extraordinary,
So- so-
40,000 panels was like,
Yeah.
I just need direction.
The Webster bylaw.
Webster
We're
bylaw.
gonna go with the
Yes.
Webster one, okay?
Yeah.
So I'll reformat that, keeping the same content for our bylaws, and then I'll distribute that at the next meeting.
Yeah,
And
that's
if
right.
it looks good,
We can tweak it from
we
there.
can tweak it, and
Right.
then
Yep.
hopefully
Yeah.
land the plane on that.
Okay.
Be a good baseline.
We have to have a public hearing?
Yes,
Before that?
we will, yes.
We probably need that one meeting where we can review it and tweak it.
But that has square footages in there too. You know
Yeah,
what I mean,
we
panel
just
size
look at it.
panels inside the,
Was Webster
Megawatt.
panel?
I don't think it,
which one, the Sutton one had that?
Sutton
Yeah.
did. Sutton
So
With
did.
the little table.
But we can introduce,
Correct.
So you're going with
You
the
know.
megawatt, it's sketchy because as the panels become more
More
Technology
efficient,
changes.
same areas can be making more power, but you're not having a bigger footprint,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I think you just,
So if you restrict it to a certain size, then
And I'm not sure that is totally
I wouldn't,
legit.
yeah, I wouldn't,
legal,
I wouldn't
because
restrict
you
it
could
to a
get
size.
over,
Yeah.
I think you can override that
Right.
Oh, yeah.
requirement.
To Mike's point, if you look at like the difference between a cell phone back in the 80s versus nowadays and stuff like that, technology's
There
gonna
was never a
change
cell
and
phone
shrink
in the 80s.
packaging. No, but, you know what I mean, technology's gonna
Yeah,
change over time.
technology's
you're gonna put a
So-
solar panel on the back of this.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah,
Who's
you'll be able
surprised
to
we put
do
it
your
on?
whole house with one
Yeah,
panel.
so I
In
think we
20
just need the
years.
regs of,
A
you know,
general guideline.
guidelines of buffers,
yeah, that's
offsets
Yeah,
from the
what we like to
neighbors.
see,
Yeah,
Like we've been
that's
doing.
all.
yeah.
That's mainly it.
So
Kind of
what's the
a little
difference between the
bit clearer
special
than site
permit
plan.
and the site plan review thing that we've been doing? I mean, is it still,
Special permit, you can deny.
Yeah.
Site plan review really can't unless it's a
and
health and safety.
what does it make a difference as far as them negotiating with the tip, whatever you call it, with the selectmen?
Completely separate.
Yeah.
They would still do that even with the
They would
special
still
permit?
do that.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
good,
Correct.
okay. I wanted to text that, so.
Unless you're a town, I can't read that tip. Okay.
So there's no Dover
We do
amendment,
Webster?
because I wasn't here last meeting.
He just mentioned that you could put
Conditions.
conditions and.
Yeah, the language, he said the language differs for solar versus some of the other uses.
Right, like
that are
ag
allowed.
and all that.
And so, based on the
Church and
case
schools.
law, the limited case law for solar, his opinion was you can require a special permit for different.
Okay.
Now, I thought he was
Nice.
gonna forward us some information. General, no.
No.
But he said that he'd help write something up if we.
He would be willing to help us.
Correct.
yeah.
Review a book.
Yeah,
So
once
once
we
we go
get
through a
some-
general review, then we can send it to him, see
Yep.
what he thinks,
Yep.
then go ahead and.
You could
Okay.
fine tune
Yeah.
it,
Yep.
yeah, trust.
That sounds legit.
How about
Let's see.
I take Webster's
Send it
even
right.
before you
Yeah.
guys look at it and
Either way,
send
do
it
it.
to
Send
him.
it to
Yes,
him.
that would be good.
And see what's good or bad, or what we
Yeah.
can and can't do, then that'll narrow the scope down.
Correct.
As far as how much
He can
Can
cut
be
out,
done.
he can cut
Right.
out what's not
Okay,
necessary. That'd be great.
eliminate.
Was he a lawyer?
yeah.
No, he's an econ.
Yeah, I recall, he said, technically you can't restrict, but that you could condition things
Condition,
like,
yes.
have to have special permit or this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
So he seemed to think that would have the best chances standing up legally, right?
Put screening
Fairness.
and how far away from
Yeah.
residents.
Yeah.
As, in terms of being challenged in court and all that stuff.
I don't think much.
I don't think we went. I don't think he went in there. He
No.
just said basically, you can put some framework around it for your town to have some type of guideline. Period.
Yeah,
Nothing regarding court and everything
Yeah.
like that into that
Typical
case.
legal response. But he hinted that he thought that was a viable way to
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Yep. Yep. All right. So we're gonna shoot for that for the.
Yeah,
next
I mean,
town meeting?
that would make sense to do that.
That'd be good.
Eliminate any nonsense out of it that is useless and then deal
Yeah.
with what's
Bit of
left.
that.
Yeah, if you can review it.
okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cool.
That'd be cool.
All right.
Thanks, Bill.
Okay, moving on.
Next.
Number 2.
Lakeside.
So I'm waiting for the board's opinion on how we want to move forward on this. We, as I mentioned last couple of meetings, CMRPC's grant had expired at the end of the year last year. I did include a copy of their regional planning hours, which is 14, so they could apply that towards this if we wanted them to. And so, you know, my takeaway from town council's opinion from the last meeting was, you know, at first, he was considering the new zoning district, and then he was kind of implying that he thought what the board wanted was best suited for an overlay.
Yes.
And then ultimately, it sounded like 40A Section 6 gives the zoning officer certain authority to make certain decisions, and perhaps that's the way to go. I did talk to Adam this afternoon, and I did want to hand this out to the board. This is our existing zoning bylaws, and there is certain relief that is provided and afforded to these non-conforming lots currently. So maybe the way to tackle this would be either to rely on this or even perhaps expand on the scope of this. And maybe we don't need a zoning district.
Okay. I would like that much better.
So, and I read through this before and then dealt with this before. So this still triggers your ZBA application for non-conforming.
May in some cases.
Variances.
Under 3, 4, 5,
Yeah.
if you meet any one of those 4 things, you don't have to. The building inspector has the authority to
Yeah.
issue that. Also, you could expand on the scope, as I mentioned. So, you know, if you think something else is more appropriate under there.
So no findings necessary, it's just as long as you meet the current, that's one of the criteria, is you meet all the current, in that
So all
zone,
has to do with
setbacks.
setbacks.
I would
Yeah.
prefer an as of right, not determination by the building inspector,
Why is that?
because it gets muddy, because somebody has to make a determination.
I don't disagree.
So you have an engineered plan, and you show what your setbacks are, and you say what you're gonna do. If you're within the setbacks that are in existence today, you don't have to do anything. You submit it and he can approve it. There's no determination, there's no extra opinions. It's pretty clear. That's what a lot of towns do.
So that's changing the language, Ron.
Huh?
That's changing the language in his.
So if there's a couple things you could do it as of right, and then some instances it is determination by a building inspector.
Yeah.
So there's a ton of different ways that you can do this for extensions to existing non-conforming
Yeah, don't put that on the
structures.
building inspector, I've never seen that.
I know.
Yeah.
Ever.
I mean,
Well, this is our
you go
existing
to-
bylaw.
I
Yeah.
know, well, then I've never seen this, so,
Yeah.
sorry.
So
Yeah.
specifically Natick, they have an as of right method for a section 6 finding,
Right, but
which
it's
is
not.
Do they have
Pretty
water and
much.
sewer there?
Yes,
sometimes.
mostly.
Mostly.
Yeah.
I'd say 99% of the time.
Yeah.
But the point is to leave it up to the individual to make a discretion on somebody's, then you're into a whole thing with neighbors and lawsuits and.
Oh, yeah. It's super so, I
Right.
mean,
Well, I think if you read the language, I don't think he has to. It says he may, or determined by.
that's-
But that's a lot of pressure on him too,
Yeah.
man, you know, it's like the old Wild West in a way. so.
yeah, because then someone gets it, someone doesn't get it.
Yeah.
The concern Adam had at the last meeting was that there's the potential to open a can of worms with what we're trying to do.
Correct. But Adam also highlighted
And
something.
it could be open to challenge and appeal easily, is what he pretty much ended up with before
if we
he
want to-
suggested this.
If we want to change zoning.
If we
Yeah.
wanted to change zoning or have an
Then-
overlay district.
Well,
yeah.
he said also, like, he would work on the language for the overlay to protect the interest and the things that the concerns we brought up.
Right.
So, I'm okay if we go in the overlay direction based upon his conversation. Because the big thing that we wanted to protect was that, you know, you're not creating a bunch of 5,000 square foot lots, you know, in addition, that ones that are already pre-existing and pre-established, right? So you're not creating any new lots that are, quote, not conforming to the RA standard.
Right.
Right?
Right, that's number one,
That's
yeah.
number one, right? You're giving relief, number two, to those existing structures and those existing homeowners that are there. So that was the goal of this accomplishment. So, you know, Adam, when he came here, he was like, either way you could go with a zoning district or an overlay. I think if we put the language in the overlay, you know, and you still revert back to, if you're subdividing something or you're gonna create 2 lots, then you have to meet the RE.
I thought
standard
the
then.
goal when this started was that we're trying to reduce the amount of steps that someone has to go through in order to improve, expand
Yep.
their home on on these lots that are undersized. I mean, I still hold the fact that if you have it by right, meaning put an overlay, and it reduces your setbacks from 50-foot frontage or a 20-foot side yard to 10 or 8, that you're gonna get some people upset on the other end, but
But you get relief.
you get relief, but
Yep.
again, the board uses a lot of tools to give that relief. Undersized lot, position of the house on the lot, soil conditions, other things like that, which would be related to a variance, I suppose, you know, so.
But those discussions,
Yeah,
most
which
of
is
those.
pretty much impossible.
Generally, yeah.
yeah.
So,
Except for if you just get it granted without
Wha-
meeting the thresholds.
can we put it in front of the zoning that gives more leniency so that they can grant, I mean, what mechanism is there so that it can work in
It
favor?
should be a special permit.
A special permit, but gives the ability for a neighbor to say, look, these people have had firecrackers going off every week, they got 10 cars in their lot, they have trash all over the place. I mean, people do come out against people who, look at what.
That's a different subject
could have-
altogether, is trash.
No, but I'm just saying that
Yeah.
before zoning board of appeals, how many times do you
Yeah,
see?
but Aaron, the
people-
problem is, you know, yeah, today that might be the case, but you might have a neighbor that moves in that has ATVs all over the front yard. You know, you don't know,
Has ATV?
Later,
you know?
yeah, but I'm saying when it
If you
doesn't
have
go
non-conforming,
before a
You don't
board.
have a garage, you're gonna put them someplace, so they put them there.
Yeah, but if it doesn't go before an
No,
authority,
it's
then there's
exactly-
no airing out of the situation, that's all I'm saying.
Maybe to you,
Right.
but to somebody else, it's not.
So to your point,
really care.
you mean, so you would address number 2 by giving them relief, by implementing something. I mean, the Wallen
That's why
Lake,
you
the
said it.
reservoirs,
That's why he said it.
you know?
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I don't, whatever the board likes, then I'll just,
Yeah.
I'm open to adjusting this our existing bylaw.
but are we
Our
not
zoning
talking about
bylaw.
an overlay anymore? Is that what, by doing this?
That's what we do, we just talk, we don't really. Things happen.
I'm just saying, because Les has made a
Well, it's
good
one of
point.
the, I mean,
Yeah.
do you do both? I mean, I think you, to your point, I mean, if we move forward with the Lakeside Residential, if we do an overlay, again, Ernie was on board with an overlay, you know, and, Matt came here, Adam came here, explained a lot of things, but
Yeah.
between the two, there was a lot of similarities, but he said both can be addressed with the concerns of what we had, the 2 concerns we had. One, the goal number
Creating
1
new
has been,
lots,
has
yeah.
been giving relief. 1, how do we give relief?
Right,
So that's been the goal, no matter what direction we go in. 2 is, the concerns about,
creation of new lots.
yeah, creating
We don't want that.
additional, new lots.
Yeah,
Right.
that's a non-starter for most
So,
of them, I think.
I'd like to see what Adam can draft up for an overlay article,
Mm.
you know what I mean?
I mean, this is something new that we haven't discussed.
No, we haven't discussed that, Ernie. This
You know,
completely.
Of all the meetings we've had about this, all I've seen the process do is get more complicated. If it's not broke, then don't fix it. The process has been working for many years the way it is now. If we can relieve some of that, some way, yes. I'm
not by the building
I'm not in favor of
inspector.
a zoning change, no.
No, I do want
Not
by
crazy.
right.
I'm not crazy about an overlay district. I'm not crazy about the whole thing, but this is something new we could look into.
What,
But that's just my opinion, the board.
Clean it up a
the
little
board
bit?
has- The board has the say.
No, allow it by right
Right.
if you're doing all of these things in the event that the reconstruction, may increase the non-conforming nature, then they go get a special permit from the Board of Appeals, or a section 6
Right.
finding. It can even be even less, we never really do section 6 findings here,
Yeah.
which are very common in other towns.
Right.
Has our inspector seen this?
No.
No?
Oh, he's read it, though.
I mean, he knows the zoning bylaw, but
Yeah.
I haven't talked to him, he was out
Right.
sick today.
Yeah, he's read
I
it.
would like to get his opinion on this, if he knows anything about this.
Sure. Yep.
Just,
But yeah, like you're saying, by right, instead of having it.
And you have your ABC,
Yeah, you have
need
your,
to fit
your
into
full
these.
criteria right there to make it
Yeah.
work. Yeah, for the by right, yeah. Yeah. Where you don't have to go in front of the ZBA, you have by right, you can do it.
Yeah, but this is all by right. This is current zoning.
but yeah, it's not
By right,
it's not by right. It's not updated.
by building
Well,
inspector.
these are. I mean, he could issue those
Right, those four
today.
things are by right.
So the first one
But,
It has to say by right.
complies with all current setbacks.
Yeah, if it's 20 foot, you got 5,000 square feet, and you meet the 20 foot because the underlying zoning is RSA. or
It's 50 foot
agriculture.
frontage.
Front
RA.
setback,
RA setback is 50 foot frontage.
right,
Setback off the road,
right,
and 25's on the side.
correct,
You tell
No.
me what 10,000 square foot
They're not
lot
gonna make it.
would fit.
right. But, so this isn't addressing what you brought up.
Correct.
right,
But this is current in almost any town, that if you, well, some of the findings, if it's an undersized lot, although you could comply to the existing setbacks in, in a particular town, they used to allow you even a natick, but now they went to a lot size because they're concerned about density. So, okay. That is-
and I understand what you're saying, that the setbacks that they're being forced to comply with is for a 2-acre lot.
Insufficient, of course.
insufficient.
They're
But,
being forced to.
Yeah.
but what Ernie has pointed out, hey, you bought it then, you knew what it was, and it is
Well,
what it is.
you think, you're saying that you should
Buyer
know?
beware.
Well, that's the problem.
Yeah.
A lot of
Before
people
that up.
buy it,
And they don't know.
They don't know.
It's not a legal.
Well, then it's the people selling it,
no,
right?
no, no, no.
Well,
Because
that's-
it's not
that's the
it's not a
problem,
legal
yeah.
disclosure requirement.
Right.
That's a fact. It's not a legal
That-
disclosure
that's
requirement.
fact, yeah, it's true.
But,
I know that for a fact.
but chief's officer, I didn't know it was 45.
It's a whole
That's, you know,
different
There's a
thing.
sign that says
says
35.
Arguing-
No, but I mean, I just came to the town and I didn't even get a
That's
chance
what
to
he
see.
said, the sign says 35, but it's not legal, and you knew that until tonight? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean,
So it's one of those
looked
deals
at
where,
the sign.
don't assume.
Yeah.
A lot
but
of
there's-
people do it and they don't know.
but there's nowhere in this world today, especially, that you can't find the information. When you buy and you invest in a
Unless you're
home.
dealing with real estate every day, that's the only way you're gonna know all about it.
Correct.
I know,
Yeah.
I know.
Right?
Yep.
And you
When you
don't.
bought your first house, you knew every law in the books about setbacks and everything. Everything.
Oh, I did,
You knew everything in the books.
right, I did.
Okay, because you deal with it every day, right?
Because I deal with it every
Right.
day.
Correct.
But the average person
And the
doesn't.
average realtor is not gonna even tell anybody
correct.
anything, because that's
That's all
not their
that we're
job to do.
talking
That's what we're talking
Right.
So
So
What-
this is a lesson
what,
to take
what
home
would
No.
before you buy your next home?
Oh, for
what-
sure.
Make
that
sure you
is-
know the setbacks.
what would hurt with Adam drafting up the overlay article for us to review at our next meeting
Wouldn't
with
hurt.
regarding length?
Sure. He
Well,
has a draft
it's
one.
money. If that's not the direction the board's headed, I mean, I would say let's make a decision on which way we want to go before
Yeah.
they spend time drafting it.
No, no,
I thought we
understand.
get like so many hours
We
a
do.
week. Okay.
But they bill against that,
Right.
and if they go over, they bill more.
Right.
Well, we spent the last few months, on this trail,
Discussing it, yeah.
walking down this trail,
With
this path.
CMRPC
You know
too.
what I mean? And with other,
Oh, I'm sure he has draft overlays.
yeah.
I'm sure he
no,
has a zoning
course.
overlay
No,
that's
he-
handy, that he can just
no, because he was
change it to Douglas.
he was very up to speed on it too.
Yeah, he's doing all the presentations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure he has a draft.
He's the one that guided us to say we can go either direction, and all we said is we want these protections. So I don't think it would be a heavy, lift for him to at least.
And we haven't really engaged with town council. Some other boards
Correct.
have them at every single meeting.
Correct.
Yeah,
And this
I
is the
know.
only time that we've
No,
had a town council here
So,
Right.
in
I
the
mean,
past year.
Yes.
Are you okay with getting a sample? Again, this is just so if we decide to try to meet that deadline of March, we're not scrambling. We've kept the ball rolling, and if we decide to go and put something forward for March, again, the deadline's March.
The only way to make that determination is somebody makes a motion to go in one direction or the other, and we have to vote on it. So if somebody wants to make a motion, we'll take a vote.
Oh, I'd like to table this piece, I just like to table this piece if we have to go through this.
Well, that's not gonna do it.
You know what I mean? Again, table, because this is so new, regarding any changes to this. If we wanna do that in the fall, or if we gotta adjust that regarding the by right thing. Because I don't think we're gonna have the runway for that.
You want,
No,
you wanna look
no,
into this, you
definitely
wanna look
not.
into this some more, you saying?
I'd table that for the fall meeting. I think, I'll make a motion that we go forward with the Lakeside Residential overlay, you know, and regarding, Adam to draft an article that we can review.
What I'd like to do, can we get an estimated cost on what's it gonna cost to do something like that? Or is it irrelevant?
It's irrelevant, because we
Probably
have
salaries,
salaries.
All right, and I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Some of the boards, they have the council at every meeting, which
Yeah.
is crazy, and we never use town council. We never.
We pay them a yearly fee.
We
had the subcommittee
We
sign
do,
bylaws.
we do.
I should rephrase that.
They review an awful lot of
Yes,
things
they do.
for all of our meetings.
Right.
So,
But I mean, we don't have.
don't
them here.
imply
I was
they
on the phone
don't.
with
them all the time.
Yeah, I know. I shouldn't have said it that way.
You
I
just-
should have said.
every
he's not
decision
present.
we issue gets reviewed
Yeah.
by them.
So,
Somebody wanna second that motion? No.
I don't think it hurts to look at it. I mean, to see it, you know, I don't know what to say, but just, I mean, there's merit to this, believe me, with this tiny little lots and people not having the ability to make any move.
What your motion was.
Oh, to have
It was
the,
Les's motion.
My motion was just to have Adam
make a draft.
draft
attorney.
the article for, again, so we can review.
And Adam was the guy that was here last
Legal
attorney.
night.
counsel
the attorney.
for an overlay district for Lakeside Residential. So we would have something ready in January to review
Or-
for our next meeting.
Or
so-
deny it. Review it,
Um,
accept or deny it. We
I
don't
mean-
have to accept it.
Yeah, I mean, we've been on this path for several.
I think it's
several
fair
months.
to take a look at it. I mean, I know it's in your heart, and you're longer than way longer. Is that, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I've heard that, and I understand all the parameters, but, you know, to be fair to the other board members who are, you know, seeing a vision that we should try to support at least the process and not do it, you know, with an empty glass, but look at it in a full way, so.
Yeah,
We should probably have it,
we're a board, so whatever the board
you know,
wants to
we need to
decide.
support each other a little bit, and I think that there's merit to what he's saying, I just think we should do this. To be,
I'll second.
yeah.
Okay,
We
a
could,
motion's
no
been
reason
made.
you can't look at
So
what he
what was the
has.
motion again? Can you repeat that?
The motion is to have Adam draft the overlay Lakeside Residential article.
Or adopt in
For-
drafting, or
drafting.
some sort of,
Yep.
yeah, you
Form.
might have something like you
So
said.
we can, in preparation for the Springtown meeting, for us to review regarding the two concern issues that we raised to him at our previous meeting
Which were what?
with him. The two concerns were
The big concern is the dividing of the lots.
dividing
and-
of lots.
To make sure that
No
there's no
dividing of
division of
lots.
No
lots.
dividing of lots unless they meet the RA zones requirements,
I think that's what he said.
right?
I can't remember.
And make
the
sure the
words.
Board of Health requirements are met before a lot can be built
Yeah.
upon,
And the board health
Correct.
requirements are met.
per the
Right.
minutes.
Yep.
That was my-
Right.
That's it.
And-
Which is the concerns we have.
In part of the overlay, we should be ready to, there should be a box of dimensional requirements that we should be
Yeah.
considering, if we are considering that at all, an overlay that should come along with a whole palette of dimensional requirements to allow the relief
What is
by
what-
right.
What is it? And I
If
think
that's
we-
what,
And I think we did draft that before with what Lakeside was gonna be with single
Yeah.
family.
but that
The
has to be
dimensional
part of that,
requirements
but,
that we had in there.
I mean, we can fill the blank, it
Yep.
doesn't fill the blank, that's up to us,
You good with that?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
even though I think that was.
Motion's been made, who seconded it?
Mike G.
Mike.
Okay. In favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Opposed? No.
And could I have a statement of the build
Democratic.
hours too? for
Democratic.
town council? So ours, like all the boards and their build hours, you're saying they have billable hours?
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah, they
get that
can
for
look-
us?
Anybody can ask it from the selectmen, yeah.
Can you get the board a copy for next meeting?
I sure can.
Okay. All right.
I'd just be
For
curious
for
to
what
see
dates?
the whole 2019.
2019.
First, yeah.
see how we stack up to the
Yeah.
other.
If in the audience, anybody.
I'm sure it's selectmen is probably
It's
90%
not a
of
public
it.
hearing, I'm
Oh.
not taking
Well, I
anything.
know we have a certain amount, we pay a set fee, so.
Whether we
I'd
use
be
it or not,
curious
yeah.
to see, yeah.
Alright.
Okay, next item on the agenda,
ZBA apps?
ZBA application.
You have them, right? Yeah.
I don't know. Do I need to?
They're not in
I'll take
here.
the first one. I'm tossing them out. Well, Mike
two
does the
of them.
minutes. You get out of here in record time. I'll take the first
You
one.
said 7:30.
I tried.
I
You
did the
were
last
long-winded.
couple, so I can spread it out this time.
I'll take the first one. You got one volunteer,
Down to
huh?
less.
Oh, look at this.
Jake takes the
So you
second
trying
one.
to take one?
Yeah, Mike's got the minutes.
Okay, Mike, minutes?
Want to hit on those while they review these?
Because I have my poop here, but I looked at the, I think it was December 10th.
Northwest Maine. Okay.
Yes, it would have been.
Yeah, I didn't see anything wrong with it. It's perfect.
I love the curve.
Everything here. looked at it a
Wow,
couple
good
times.
job, Mary.
Really?
That's
Draft
excellent.
number
Alright.
2.
Front
She's
yard
so good.
setback. Oh, she's so good.
Anybody else have anything on the meeting minutes?
Nope.
Okay, Mike.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes as written
Hey, this can't be
for
right.
December 10th, 2019.
Required front setback is 10 feet.
Motion made,
That's not right.
Second.
seconded by Mike
No, that's
Z.
crazy.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Road frontage,
Abstain.
so these are off.
One abstention from Tracy. You weren't here.
Correct.
Wish he was
The
there.
applicant didn't fill this in for
Oh, just a moment, yeah.
Yeah, but you need 200 feet of frontage.
Nothing
Yeah.
we
It said
have
50.
anyway, right?
Provided, but you didn't put that requirement here,
Correct.
so you didn't meet none of that.
It's incomplete.
Yeah,
So
all
it's
right.
reduced,
So
unit
we can't
setback
weigh in
from
on it.
25 to 18.
Well, you can weigh in on it. I mean, you know what the dimensions are. I got the zoning book here. if you
I
need
know,
it.
I know, we gotta fill it in
Are we
for
on
it.
discussion?
No,
putting it
if
in
it's
house.
incorrectly filled in, we can't act on it.
Correct, it's not filled in
You
correctly.
need to make sure that you fill
See,
in
so,
the paperwork.
You know
Can I
what,
hold
you know
you to
why I would
that?
not
Yeah.
approve this?
Okay.
Okay,
Because they're doing a brand new
We'll
house, and
leave
they can make
everything
the house go
else.
this way, do another
Can't-
house, do a different house.
What's the matter with it?
so the several problems,
What's the problems with this one?
the required
You know what I'm saying?
frontage area, stuff like that should be filled in.
Oh, it's not filled in?
It's not filled in. There's also, it says that the it's an RA zone. The front yard setback, said,
10 feet.
it says it's 10 feet is the
I
requirement,
know.
okay, and they're giving 10 foot too, but it's actually 50 feet for RA,
Front yard setback,
So-
yes, yeah, right.
you know, it's not a correct application.
It's still going to ZBA, right? So, yeah, write that down, Les. And information is incorrect and not all there.
You know what I mean?
Wrong setbacks.
Yeah, I just think
Wrong
about it.
setbacks.
What are
So
they trying
what's
to
the
do?
application for?
It's, building a two-car garage on a lot.
Is he showing there a picture?
Yeah, he's got a picture of it.
Where is it?
Cottage colony.
Cottage colony,
Oh,
50 feet.
down here. It's on the corner, it's,
right, it is.
it's on Cottage Colonial and on Northwest
It is
Maine.
right on water.
It's
It's really.
and it's garage going in, looks
Oh,
like
that's why
a
they're
house
doing it.
above,
Here's the water.
That's why it says.
no room
eight.
above. Yeah, it's, you know, I
Is it
can't,
existing 10 feet?
Well, It's a Laurel Glades, it's on the
Oh.
water.
Oh.
it's taking a hug, it can be 10-foot setback off the road.
Should be.
No- Nobody knows zoning's that way in any town.
Existing dwelling.
So what is this thing?
So,
Let me see that.
take a look, I'm just,
So there's an objection in
yeah,
incomplete application.
yeah,
That's
incomplete
all you need to
application,
do.
that's
Yeah,
it.
just, yeah, right, incomplete application.
Cause it's not 10, oh, it's to the septic is 10 feet, to
Yeah.
the tank,
He wrote 10-foot two to the
instead of the
septic.
30 foot.
Yeah.
Correct, but
There's a septic.
He wrote to, here, here they're on
This is the front of the lot, but there's an existing
10-2
house.
right there.
to that.
So he got it in the
Everything
wrong
else is-
spot.
Should be raised.
Take
10
another
to
look at
the
that.
tank,
Right.
He's got 10-2 to the
Is this a
tank.
garage?
that would be a
Why
pump
is it
chamber.
Two-story dwelling.
I'm lost, I'm not in my comfort zone here.
Yeah,
So
right there.
there's a tank and a pump
What's
chamber.
yours?
But
This is number 20.
You got it
So,
in the wrong,
this is
yeah.
on,
These are all the
Glades,
requirements
you know,
here.
that,
Laurel
for
Glades?
your
Glades.
dimensions
Yeah.
of the lot.
Yeah,
and they have a lot that's extremely deep, and it's 77 feet wide. But they're proposing a two-story dwelling
Take it the easy
towards
one.
the back of the lot, but there's already an existing dwelling in the front. So I don't
Is it
understand.
Well, this would be the back, because this is the water,
33.
here's the front.
So he doesn't need that anyway.
Right, so there's already a
Another
house
well.
here, and it doesn't
So
say
again,
raised. Other
you're not
structures are to be
complete here.
raised,
Yeah.
you know, shed and whatever.
is it 50 feet from the other one?
Section
Oh,
B,
yeah, at least
section
50.
BA is
Oh,
not
well,
filled in
accessory structures can be
correctly.
50 feet away.
Do you know what I mean?
What is it, what's the description?
Like,
The
if this
project?
isn't right from the applicant's standpoint, you know what I mean?
Seeking variance in
Yeah.
Town of Douglas, bylaw
That's
section
right, that's right.
4.1.3.
Yeah.
Dimensional requirements of for side yard setbacks of 25 feet, they want relief on both
All right.
sides. The Existing non-conforming
Are we okay with
parcel, the required
objecting to this
setbacks, even the
because
parcel with a very narrow building area.
application?
The relief that is being sought is to
Right
reduce
there.
the side yard setback from 25 to
Number,
18
chapter number 5.
But it doesn't say-
general. There's a
What
wrong
they're doing?
information
Where's the description?
And missing information.
So the issue with that is that if the public comes in and looks at it, they're not gonna be able to get the information.
The existing parcel is
Number
located on
5
Witten
is
Reservoir,
wrong.
Laurel Glades, so
Yeah.
the shape of the lot is
So-
Probably filled out and
slopes towards,
some information.
based on
left out.
soil. The existing parcel is a single-family dwelling that is close to
What
the
did you
reservoir
get
that will
wrong?
have the plumbing
You
removed
mentioned a setback.
and converted to an
Earlier.
They're
accessory
not
zone.
setbacks, it's
So they're
setbacks.
saying that
You're
that's
gonna make that
gonna
more
The
like a
tank.
water.
be, that will have no plumbing and no anything, it says here. And they wanna build a new home up here. The existing sheds are proposed to be raised, new two-story dwelling is proposed approximately 159 feet away from the water's edge. So this is exactly what you're talking about, Wes, is that they want to go, obviously, closer to the side yard because they have a narrow lot, it's 77 feet. I don't really have a problem with it per se,
Right.
but, and as long as they remove all the plumbing and sewer out of this septic, they're abandoning anything here.
Yeah.
And they're gonna use that as like a clubhouse probably, right? Or something.
All right.
I don't really care then,
I wish they,
as long as they're not having two full dwellings.
they go.
But you're saying that under our zoning, they could have two
Wasn't
dwellings
filled
on
out
one lot?
correctly.
An accessory apartment, detached,
It's-
50 feet away.
The garage is 30.
That's why I asked how-
Why would they
And-
keep that as an accessory?
Well, they, I don't know.
Probably size.
Oh, it's septic, it's septic, they
Yeah, I
don't
don't
know.
know what they're doing.
I mean, I
but
would've-
I'm okay with
If they move the new house 50 feet, they could have both, one as an apartment
Well,
with
they
a
are,
900.
they're about 150 feet apart.
Yeah, so
How come Jake gets the easy one?
Well, it wasn't easy.
Oh, was it?
Flush.
There's a lot going on in the map. You don't
We
even know.
flush over here.
where's the road? Where's the water?
I know, you don't even see, like, where's the road?
Yeah, there's no.
There's no road. It's
Where's the road?
Then
Where
where's the
are
road?
you?
Laurel Glades.
Oh, right here, right here. It's a cut through right here.
That's over by,
Lower grades cuts through.
what?
This is the road right here.
Nothing to say.
It's a right of way.
Yeah.
Accessory
Well, like,
apartment?
Oh, they own both sides.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they're gonna abandon this as the
This is
dwelling.
water.
and they're gonna-
Oh.
I think she came before
It's
us.
such a weird project.
Oh, yeah, it kinda does show.
Did she come before us?
Tell us, Bill, what are we not seeing?
I'm not saying.
You've been on this
anything.
board.
I don't know.
I mean, you're not on the board. What do you know?
What's the side setbacks on the
I
side?
can't see it from here.
18 and 18? That's,
Make sure you keep it all
What about
together
it?
now.
Yeah, this one.
that's plenty of room on the sides.
Yeah, 18's over.
18.
Is it a real road?
It's
right away.
It goes through their property. They own both sides, it looks like.
Is it a real road?
Into it.
It's a right of way.
So what did they say? A road in existence
'Cause it-
on the
You
application?
can
It's a
see
camp
here.
road.
Just looks like all down.
Up around the reservoir.
right.
It's got a ski around.
Other people have built
Waters
houses
Road.
off
I mean,
of
that's
that.
over to going to
Other
Whittier
people have
Farm.
built houses
Yeah.
off of that.
I can't.
That's
believe
it.
it.
Built houses. There's been camps.
There's been other
Pretty
upgrades,
exact.
Oh, there's all kinds of,
upgrades
there's
to
all kinds of
houses-
full-time
houses
residents.
out
in
there.
that. Yeah, there's full-time residents all on
Yeah.
that, yeah. That's the one, Mike
What
Yurka,
did,
Mike Yurka came in,
Yeah.
they built all those houses going into the, but they
So
were
what
already
did they check
camps
for
and
type of
year-round
road?
residents down there.
Thanks.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's one lane.
Right.
You meet somebody coming the other
Right.
way,
Yeah,
somebody
right.
has to back up, or somebody has to
Doesn't
go
somebody
off.
put a rock in the middle of the road every once in a while?
You know,
Hey, now,
yeah.
where you sign?
All right, we got minutes?
Was it just like there's a park
We did
road
minutes.
over by me?
Yeah,
Dirt
yeah.
road, everybody's
We
kinda
did
been doing a
minutes.
little turnout.
I got little
The little
pull-offs. so people
pull-offs.
pull off and stuff,
Yeah, going up there, it's like, somebody gotta back up whoever's got the closest
Yeah.
turn off, to know where they're
Yeah,
at.
give that to Tracy, she wants to look at it.
no, I don't. Did you already fill it out? This one has no road frontage either. You know that, right?
Section 5 isn't filled out.
Yeah.
There you go.
Uh-oh.
So you would not consider road frontage to be a private way?
What?
No, it has to be a
Yes.
qualifying way. Whatever they checked off.
Oh.
They're not putting that there's any frontage.
A right of way is not a road that grants frontage.
Right, even if you own it both sides?
A right of way is not, went through this with an A&R plan and.
If you own both sides of the end of a right of way,
it's a
And you
right
own
away.
both sides of it, do you
You're-
only,
You're getting hung up on nomenclature. I think the two of you are talking about apples and oranges. He's talking more of like an easement, a private easement that someone has over someone's property.
right,
You can have a right-of-way that's a private way that the public really has access to. Look
Oh,
at Shore
yeah.
Road, for example,
well, my road.
you know?
Each and every parcel has a
Can-
right
can
of
you-
way.
Can you
over-
subdivide
No,
off of?
this
You can
was written
subdivide off of a
0 feet of
right-of-way?
frontage, road frontage.
Not an easement,
Well, that's
it's
what
gotta
they
be a
put.
private way.
Yeah, they
Okay,
put
off of a
0
private way, you can
road
subdivide off
frontage.
that?
Yeah, it's
You
pre-existing.
can continue chopping up off the private way.
Yeah.
So they're abandoning
The
the
question
camp
is whether it has suitable width
and
rating
putting up a new
construction.
house, and they were asking
I'm-
for relief
I
on
just ran into
fire.
it.
Look at
They said
Lakeshore,
no.
Lakeshore. We just approved an A&R from them.
Yeah.
for that.
No, I agree.
They have
We
only
didn't
septic
determine Lakeshore,
in there.
on Lakeshore Drive, we
It's
didn't
the
talk
neighbors
about
on
the
They're gonna
Lakeshore.
road.
come,
Right.
We were
they're
just
gonna come
focused
to
on
you, isn't
the
that
parcels meeting
conservation?
the
They're
requirement.
within,
We made no determination related to the road.
demolition,
Yeah, you do by endorsing the plan.
they might be outside the
Goes to
100, it's
A&R.
not a Rivers Act,
Okay.
if it's a.
Once you
Well, I was
endorse-
at the meeting, remember?
I have no issue
I was
with it.
like, I'm not here to talk about the road,
So you-
whether
fill it
it's
in?
one
You
way or
have it-
another.
You have a,
You
No
meet the requirements
objection.
of cutting
either
the lawn.
either you have a problem with it or you don't, and you
Yeah,
just
we-
check off the
So-
box that says,
No.
we do not have a problem.
Do we not have a problem?
We do not have a problem.
No,
I mean, I have personally.
I just wish the other one was
Yeah.
complete.
Thank you.
Cool. All right, Bill, anything for the board?
God, no.
God, no.
To adjourn.
There we go.
We
How
getting,
does- how does God turn it?
are we getting our, hey, are we getting our as-built?
No,
Yeah,
Well, what's-
I
what's-
was
what's-
planning on calling them, I haven't gotten around to it. They were supposed to get it to us by the end of December.
Yeah, both of them were, right?
I can just sign.
Well, that's partial.
We'll get
That's
that.
partial.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I'm asking, I
Everything
see
signed
this.
you need?
Yeah.
And I know we had talked about.
I'm driving by the place, that's when I think of it. I'm like, oh, I gotta remember that.
Bill, what was the letter from, McIntyre?
It was about the as-bills that we had
That's just for
requested.
information.
Now,
And this is a general
That's for your information. I expect we'll have that, something more detailed for
It's not a
next
sign,
meeting.
Alright.
that's the ZBA thing.
That's why I brought it
Making
up.
progress, which is good. All right with that.
Okay, nobody else has anything for the board?
Hey,
Nope.
All right, motion to adjourn was made by
Tracy.
Tracy and seconded by Mike G. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carries.
Good job.
Thank you, everybody.